think we actually are live. Let me just check that. Only way to know is if we go to I shouldn't be hosting anybody. It should be just mine. /unhost. My work. Hello. Fuck you, Twitch. Does this? Are you serious? There it goes. Oh my God, Twitch sometimes. You gotta wonder with Twitch. I think everything's coming through. Hopefully. Oh my God, Twitch sometimes.
Everything yet on my end.
It should be coming up on yours. It should be live. Did it come up now?
Okay. Looks like it.
All right, just like every single live show, we're late. Who gives a damn? All right, so yes, this is the new RSG OTC. I actually really like the new layout. I don't know how you all feel about that, but the new layout, we got our new co-host. We got Tufel over here. Actually kind of works that I can point over like this direction, and I have all this space over here because I'm pointing at him kind of. All right, no, there we go. Ah, yeah, I'm pointing at you. So anyways, this is good though. I really enjoy it. We're bringing a whole new kind of feeling going on to RSG OTC. So that is going to be Ready Set Game Off the Cuff for those who don't know. It's a gaming / tech / PC and whatever the hell else kind of show we want. So right now, I think we're going to be working on a webcam off of the webcam. Did you you saw my new camera, right, Toof?
I did.
Okay, I thought so. I just actually got it mounted onto my tripod over here. Let me do this real quick. Okay. Oh, jeez.
Good thing he has all that space.
There we go. Oh yeah, you know. Hit myself in the head. I did it. That's right. Okay. So, yeah, we got a lot going on here. It's going to be going with these. And I finally got it to mount. I do want a different tripod. This tripod is so old. But I got it to work with some cardboard. So it should be good. Get that nice panning motion. And then, you know, I have the big crazy light. Dude, this thing is so bright. All ready? Like, that's just bright as all get out.
So it's going to be like a newscast?
Yeah, you know. And then when I get the special lady friends over, you know, then I can start making something that, never mind. We're going, that's a different direction. We're not going to be telling away the trade secrets. Okay. So that's staying over there. And at least it's kind of, you know what? Maybe I can spin it around, have it in the shot. Makes like an extra cool aspect of it. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So basically the whole point I wanted to bring this into though is that if I become some kind of affiliate, I'll be able to broadcast in 1080p. And in that sense, yes, this camera does do 1080p and it looks great, don't get me wrong. But why not have it look better? And then I could just have this as my like actual webcam one, and I could actually have this as a separate source. So that would actually be kind of cool too. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, that's just the show there as we're starting. So, what have you looked at? Anything that would interest you? Because I've got some stuff on the list.
All right, go right ahead. I'll come along behind.
Well, one you're probably not too big into because you've never been really into the tycoon ones. But anyone who's known me, known the show, knows I love tycoon games as much as I start playing them and I start and then stop. But Railway Empire, it's kind of crazy looking. Really surprised to see something like how would I explain it? It's like Railroad Tycoon comes to New Age. It really is. It's kind of what I'm looking for. Hopefully, it's not too insanely in depth though, because too much micromanagement can ruin a game. So that's what I'm hoping for. I don't know. What do you think? Too much? What do you think about micromanagement?
I think in the essence of simulators, or things like that, your strategy games like you have with the Transportation Tycoon, your Roller Coaster Tycoons, all that crap. In a sense, it could come to with your customization and really making the difficulty go up. But if you can also scale it back for somebody to learn the game and get into it without hitting them with a huge wall right off the bat, you'd probably be better off.
That's how I feel. Like I love Planet Coaster. How much did I talk about Planet Coaster? And the game comes out, and I really took a quick like, wow, I really enjoy watching people build more than taking the absolute time. And it used to be so easy to just make just a park back in the old roller coaster tycoons, and now it just seems there was just too much going on. And I hope they don't do that to Railway Empire. But man, it's so expensive. Some of these companies have to realize their game is not worth $50. Okay, they're not. Some people have to just realize that your game is not worth $50. Okay, that is with their graphics. I would say maybe a 30. Don't give me, oh, well, this is a pre-release price, 15% off, and we'll give you it for $50. So I thought that was a little expensive. But anyways, that's just something like quick I just saw. Wanted to touch on Railway Empire. It's something I want to have my eye on, and I'm gonna keep my eye on that. But let's go to something a little more important. Okay, so a little more important is HDMI 2.1. Now we've had HDMI 2.0 for ages now. For me, I don't care. For you, maybe you will. I mean, to what point are we looking at this being a little ridiculous? We got them talking about, oh, now we can do 60 hertz in HK. It's 60 hertz in 8K. Almost did it again. Holy crap. And 120 hertz for 4K. Okay, that's cool. Who's bopping 120 hertz in 4K though?
Well, it works out great for when you're watching movies, things like that.
I guess
As
so.
far as getting to where you can play the games on it, I mean, yeah, I would like for the graphics cards to jump up into that realm where it becomes easier. Of course, we're not quite there yet, even as good as the 10 series have been. But, maybe soon, maybe next year, maybe the year after. Who knows?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, you definitely got a point on there, and we'll see definitely where it runs from here. I haven't even moved up to 4K. I had people wondering. I had a poll that I put out before I bought this. Hey, am I gonna, should I really, buy this or should I really wait for 4K? And I was like, I don't even have a 4K TV. The storage space it takes up alone to do 4K content is kind of mind-boggling. I mean,
That is it, though. Right now, we're on that cusp where it's affordable. So not only can you get more storage, SSDs are going down in price. Your standard HDDs are going down in price, and you can get 4K TVs all day long, $300 or less.
yeah, no, they everything has been coming down. I won't. I think more with the 4K thing is also the workload it would put on my computer. So for a 3-hour video to be rendered, now all of a sudden we're talking about that video just took like 7 hours, 8 hours. And it's like, holy crap, man. Some of this stuff, how stupid is it? Right here. Does this need to be in 4K? What would be the benefit? He said possibly. What would really be the benefit though of 4K of this? I mean,
you can see this is glorious here, 4K.
well,
Yeah.
well, that's true, but it's only I guess it would be as good as the camera. So it is pretty. It is a pretty glorious room. I have a pretty glorious green screen, so I can like if I wanted to make it any color, but I'm not gonna do that. Let's see though. I would say though I really want G-Sync monitors to come down in price. That's what I'd like to see. Because if I'm going to care about this HDMI 2.1 and all this crap, in the first place, You know, we're gonna need something like G-Sync to help us along with some of these frame for our refresh rates.
I think we're already starting to see that too.
I guess a little bit, but that was for Black Friday. I'd like to really see. I'd like we saw that with the one Dell, but I'd like to see it come down more. Um, I mean, overall, I really wish AMD would have kind of done a really good job with the graphics side of things because I wanted them to really put a dent kind of in Nvidia and get Nvidia off this stupid high horse they're on right now. What did they just do? What was this crap they just pulled? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, why can't I think of it? We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. It was just I know for everything that I've seen for the for how much it cost to G-Sync. Oh, that's what it was. That was the crap. The Star Wars, collector's edition. I mean, come on, how much crap? Okay, the 1080, the 1070 Ti did not need to exist. Simple as that. Simple as that. Did not need to exist. I don't know where they even felt it would fit in between. The 1070 and the 1080 aren't that far apart in the first place. So where? I don't know. That's where I'm kind of lost on this. Is where what they're doing, and people keep buying. Oh man, now they do look kind of cool, but the Star Wars special edition. Come on, this is what are they $1,300 now? I think. Stupid.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay. This is ridiculous money that they're expecting us to pay. So I really would have loved AMD to put a dent into that, and then by them putting a dent into that, they would also put a dent into G-Sync. Okay? Because if you could have a badass AMD card and a FreeSync monitor that cost a fraction of the freaking price, okay? People are gonna say, screw you, I'm getting that AMD card and buying that badass FreeSync monitor. And that's what's gonna happen. You know? So that's just what I see. And that's what I want it to happen. But it's not what's really happening. So right now everyone's like I said, this is focused on 8K and 10K. I haven't even moved up to 4K and we're talking about 8K and 10K. How are we trying to literally see inside the freaking pores on people's face like when we're watching the news? Or we're like, I forgot what I was watching the other day, but I'm like, wow, HD is not doing that person justice.
I think that came about with the 4K when you really started noticing that, and I think they started actually pulling it back on the camera a little bit more
They probably had to.
Faces. Because when you can start seeing layers of makeup on the women or whatever else, and all the things you don't normally want to see, we just back that up a little bit.
Yeah. You know what's kind of wild. One thing I do notice. I'd be curious to really know how it sounds on the other end. I'll have to watch, when we're done with this, but I'd be really curious to hear how it sounds because as nice of a microphone as you have, I still feel like Twitch has it come over like a bad digital signal. Because, it's tough to really say, like, it doesn't come through. I would really like to have some kind of voice service, but once you start splitting up voice and video service, now we're talking about crazy sync issues. So far, the sync issues seem to be pretty on point from what I see. But I'll have to definitely check with it after. Another thing that we were looking at, let's get past the HDMI 2.1 because it's okay, whatever, do I even have a yeah, so there we go. Okay, so now we're past the HDMI 2.1. There's really not much more we could talk about. I just think it's a great. I love to see that step. I can't wait. It's getting better, but how ridiculous is some of this gonna get? Now let's go on to something a little different. Far Cry 5. Okay. They're supposed to have a whole co-op campaign. And we'll get into that in a second. Let's start with Far Cry 5. What are your thoughts?
I didn't even realize they announced it, quite honestly.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of excited to try. Believe it or not.
I mean, I did try the co-op when in the last one in 4. Uh, and it worked fairly okay, I think. I didn't really get a chance to dig into it, but
I mean, for me, the big problem with 4, uh, it lacked that character of hate that I wanted to have. I don't know how to explain it really, but there was Voss in the old one, um, or in Far Cry 3, and there was also this. I think it was an Australian dude named like Brent or some shit like that. And overall, they gave you this hate that made you want to keep, grilling at the game, and I'm gonna kill this son of a bitch. But they didn't really have that as much in 4, and it kind of lost my interest to the point where I didn't even want to try Primal. I didn't even try Primal. Just skip right past that. But 5 is intriguing, and it's
I
set
think
in
Primal was
America.
just a filler.
Huh?
I think Primal was just a filler. I don't really consider that to be part of the whole thing.
The series? Maybe.
Well, look
Maybe.
at it. It kind of had some feel to Primal or to Far Cry, but when you really, I don't know, when you're really into it, it just seemed like it had a whole other developer slap their name onto the franchise and call it good.
That's true. That is true. Um, it did feel kind of like that, and it wasn't really talked about much. But I do definitely feel that it looks um like the idea of Far Cry 5 with the taking place in America like it's supposed to. Kind of curious to see how that's going to be. And I'm really curious to see the co-op side. We need co-op back in games. Just do. How
I don't know
fun is
why
it?
they get away from that because if you're the co-op you have or the generic Fortnite, PUBG, I mean, that's all good and fine, I guess. We want to play that kind of stuff. And to a point, we had like Rust and Daisy, but those have just fallen kind of off into
Yeah,
yes. We really need something like Skyrim, like an Elder Scrolls multiplayer.
right.
I
And I,
want
I,
that
and
on
I know
a
they have
co-op.
that.
Where you have the two co-op, where you go through and you really have to depend on one another to be able to survive or to complete tasks or something. Just something as stupid as I needed your help getting up here or
Like,
whatever.
I know you weren't a huge fan of the Halo series, right? But what made Halo so great? Co-op, okay? In every game for the longest time, you could co-op with a buddy and just blast the shit out of all the aliens and just tear things up like, oh, I got you. Like, there was another one long time ago. I think it was like a Battlefield Bad Company or something of that nature. And I remember you could like send your bomb guy out, and so you could have other people with you like playing as the bomb guy and something, you know, and it's just like uh I miss the co-op side of things so much because there was just so fun to not always go against your friends. Like for instance, I love playing Call of Duty, and I love playing Call of I used to love playing Call of Duty with friends and shooting the enemies and stuff. But every now and then it was really fun to just hop in on the other side and know that you just pissed off your friend 10 times in a row with a headshot or something. You got to know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
It's great. It's a great feeling. But to always be against your friends, always, 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 it gets annoying. I'd really love to tackle when we were playing that construction sim. Remember we were playing that construction sim? We were all playing together and it was really cool. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna man this. You're gonna man that. We're gonna do. Cooperative is always fun. Um, and I really would love that to come back into fruition, come into more games.
I also want to say hello to Assassin's Ghost.
Yeah, we'll say hello to that. I do want to say hello to everyone, of course. I started realizing, I guess as the times are slow, we'll keep it hello to everyone and into the chat, and we'll respond to questions here and there. I do want to refrain from. Granted, this doesn't count for that, but I do want to refrain from when people say hi, just hey, hi, because overall we do want to keep it as a show, but I have to find out how I'm gonna work in the hellos and everything. But I think when it's so slow like this, yeah, I guess the best way is to acknowledge everyone who comes in at this point. Like this pink-haired guy here named Bugs. We all know he's got
Speaking
pink
of
hair.
construction simulator, debacles and
Oh yeah.
shenanigans.
Oh yeah. Well, we
Mister never comes around to play anymore.
yeah, well, me too. I'm a lazy sack of crap. No, I'm just tired and old and beaten and not taking care of my body. We'll fix that all up though. So, yeah, co-op games though. We need them back, and that's a big thing. I'd really love to see make a hit back into the market. Is a real good set of co-op games. Now, have you figured out anything? What have you been what have you been looking at?
As far as games,
Well, games, computer hardware. I know you've been looking at your guns and stuff quite a bit because there's been Black Friday deals like crazy. But as we all know, that's kind of, well, I don't care if it's a touchy subject, but regardless, not really much I know about guns. But overall, I will say there has been quite a few sales on those. But on the tech side, you see anything good on this past Black Friday?
I didn't even look, honestly. I figured I got pretty much everything built and I have it all set up. And then since I just had to bump up and get another motherboard, and then of course I had to buy another CPU for it, and then of course more RAM for it, that kind of solidified myself again, hopefully for a little while. But
Right.
well, nothing. I haven't really looked too much at anything.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's coming down a lot, I find. I'm finding that the what the heck are they called? AIO coolers. AIO coolers are coming down quite a bit. Of course, some of the main ones like the Kraken and the Captain AIO cooler, which I hear that one's actually not that great. But overall, those are still kind of up there on price. But I'm seeing Cooler Master gotten RGB 240. What would I get that for? $59. Wow. When the heck did they start coming down like that for 240 mils?
The other problem you have with that, though, is at what price point do you still trust it not to piss water over everything else destroying your computer?
That's not what I get worried about with something like that. To be honest with you. I actually get worried about pump failure more than anything. Over time. I'm not a water cooling fan. It looks better. Is it better? Not in my opinion, not that much. Not enough. You have full on crazy loops, and then once you start putting like multiple radiators in and a loop over to this, a loop over to that, yeah. But in how effective some of these nicer air coolers, like some of the Be Quiets, like the big box ones, they'll even tell you some of those are insanely efficient on cooling. I'm way lower. All right, you might need to turn yourself down. You might need to turn me down too. How do I sound now?
Loud as shit to me, but I turned it down.
I wonder how I sound on the other end. I don't know. Let's see.
Keep rolling.
Yeah, we'll keep going. Well, wow, that's almost like clipping now. I gotta turn it down a little bit. A little bit. There it goes. Laughing. He said that's good. Laughing out loud. Same. I don't know. Maybe he has something on. Regardless. This is my microphone. Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, you got the NT1, man. I want that one. I do like that one.
It's kind of there.
I do like that one. That would be. That would be my next one. I do want to get a I do want to get a mixing board. That would be great, and get some other things. I would like to get a right shotgun mic for this. Man, shotgun mics are insane, dude. I mean, holy crap. I got this let's see. Will it come off? Ah, there it goes. I got this little guy here. Although my audio got real messed up on my last video, so I can't even put that out. I don't know if it's this thing or what. Maybe from the wind. But I'll tell you, it hears nothing from around it, but directly in front of it, you could be like a good distance away, and it hears everything perfectly. It sounds great. So I will say that's, but a shotgun mic, I'd like to get a nice shotgun mic. Other than that, I'd like to get a nice mixing board too. But yeah, I think if I got a mixing board, I want your mic, but the XLR version, not the USB version. Oh, you're not talking. On. Stop talking. Gotta love that. We have a technical issue. Nope. Let's see. If we have to, we'll end the call. We'll come back. We'll keep the stream alive and going. Let me know if we need to end the call. Nope. Okay. All right. I think we're gonna end the call and then come back, and let's see if that makes a difference. Okay. There it goes. Let's come back to there. There it goes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. There it goes.
Yeah,
We're
I just
good.
did a came unplugged.
Yep, I had a feeling. Yep. I'll tell you, I'm really loving the stream, the Twitch streaming, video streaming. It's really seamless. Like, I was able to pull it right down, pull us right back up. That wasn't bad at all. Wow.
Also, I was saying though, of course the XLR version of this, but I'd almost look at the podcaster version of it, because this one is cardioid, so it's going to pick up everything. Whereas something like you're using now, you're talking about directional, you want that podcaster thing. It also would probably have a better sound than what this one has.
And we're gonna have to see. I'm gonna check something real quick, because he's saying I gotta hear myself.
A better sound than what this one has.
And we're gonna have to see. I'm gonna check something. That's bull crap. That's bull crap. Whatever they're saying in the chat, because I'm listening and it sounded completely fine. So, yeah. All right. Yeah, it is your fault. Just always know it's your fault. Sorry about that. There we go. So now, what were you saying? What have you found any interest in? I know you haven't been looking at a computer, but what about games? Is there like something you've been having your eye on?
I think with a lot of people, Red Dead, the new Red Dead.
Oh,
still
yeah.
off that it's not coming to PC directly.
Yeah.
Along the same lines, there's the Wild West Online that shows a lot of promise. It's in alpha right now, really rough. But if that comes out to fruition to how it should be, but then again, I've been burned before, so I'll sit and wait.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's for sure. That's definitely for sure. Oh, by the way, everyone, my Elgato HD60 is here. Yep, so we'll be doing some cool stuff with that, and this green screen behind me. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption. I loved the first one. I can't wait for the second one. Hopefully we don't get burned on. I kind of saw the second one coming a long time ago when the first one came out, because they're making you continue. Now, am I a jerk for saying that I hated the little bitch voice that the new character was given at the end of Red Dead Redemption 1? And you know what? I don't care if anyone wants to call this spoilers. If you haven't played Red Dead Redemption, the first one, by now, well, then tough shit. I'm not... What do you want me to tell you? No.
That wasn't the first one, by the way.
What was the first one?
Red Dead Revolver, I believe it was, on PS2.
Really? That was technically the first?
As far as I know, if not another one.
And that was done by Rockstar?
I'm almost positive it was, 'cause I know I had it.
I remember Red Dead Revolver. Wow, but I don't remember it being like that. Maybe that is it. Wow. It is Rockstar.
Yeah, Red Dead Revolver.
Was that a good game?
It actually was. It was definitely, because it came out right about the time that another one for PS2 called Gun came out, which was also pretty good. They were pretty similar to a point, but Red Dead Revolver had just a little bit more to it. And of course, your unlimited platform with the PS2, and then when you had the PS3 and the Xbox 360 having Red Dead Redemption, of course, it opened up a whole nother world.
Huh. I've never played it, and I'm gonna have to. Is it on PC?
I don't think it ever hit PC.
Yeah, I wonder if we could get an emulator for it.
I don't think any of them hit PC. No, none of them have.
You know, that just sucks. You know, it really just sucks. I hate that none of them have hit PC. But what can you do? You know, I'll just have to borrow someone's, I guess, console. And then, wow, I can't believe I never played it. So, anyways, it's the second one. I felt at the end that the person they gave you had like the little bitchiest voice ever. You remember that?
They didn't want it to be in raspy like John Marston's voice. They wanted it to be an obvious transition that this was his son, even though they looked similar and were the same stature.
Yeah, I know. But I hated his voice. I hated that voice.
I think it was honestly after that ending. It was, not only was it so taken back on what happened, but afterwards you're kind of riding around like, okay, now what? Well, I don't really feel like, because this isn't the character I spent this whole time journeying with. I don't want to play this anymore. I'm done.
Yep. It did have that effect, definitely. It's kind of like that feeling you get after you've beaten the campaign on Grand Theft Auto. You're sitting there going, okay, so what do we do now? You know? Same
I always try to do the side missions and just fill in and do as much of those as possible.
Well, yeah, that's actually a good point. Man, I should have probably had a drink. I'll make it.
Probably should have.
Yeah. I'll make it, though. It'll be fine. I'll drink the bong water. Anyways.
This thing was the best thing ever to just block what the hell's inside there.
What is that thing?
It's one of them coolers that keeps cans cool. You know,
No, I've never seen them. You've never seen them. I don't really like cans much. I don't know. But yeah, so I see what you mean. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt about it. But I'm guessing they're going to continue on with that character with the new one.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a whole other set of characters, is it not?
Wow. Well then, I mean, hey, screw it. We'll see how it all turns out. I don't think there's really much else that I'm really looking forward to. I know the next movie I'm looking forward to is Super Troopers 2.
When is that?
4/20.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. Yep. I really hope they come out. I really felt when they announced Potfest, but they never actually came out with Potfest. It was at the end of Beer Fest that they announced that. I think now with the way that states are going and stuff like that, we might actually see that movie as the next movie. Maybe they'll do another Beer Fest as well. Who knows? So I really hope that this is like a kickstart for them to continue to do better movies and stuff like that. So that'll be really cool. But yeah, I didn't really want to get too much into that. I just wanted to point out that that's coming out April 20th. Can't wait. We're not that far away. I'm gonna go watch that like 3 times in one day in a theater. I don't care. I love it. I'm already gonna love it.
I'm just having a quick look here at what's coming available. Looks like another Bethesda pinball, which is one we already had on PC. It's coming to iPhone, Android, and Xbox One, apparently.
There's a Bethesda pinball?
Yeah, the pinball game. What's it? The Zen Studios one.
Is it the Pinball FX or is it the Pinball Arcade?
I'm pretty sure it's the FX.
Okay,
But they
that's
released a package that you had Fallout, Skyrim, and Doom in the
yes,
tables.
yes, that is Pinball FX and Pinball FX. I'm sorry to say, I think it sucks. I think it sucks.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
If you play Pinball Arcade, the real pinball tables, okay, you'll see it gets that flow that it gets on it, and it gets you like it feels like a slot machine that's going on. It's like brah, brah, brah. These ones are like, dude, now I see you. Very like subtle, not a lot of sounds. It's the equivalent of if you play the Pinball Arcade game that I'm talking about, and you play like some of the Bally tables and stuff from like 1970, and that shit's like got bells and shit in it instead of like digital sounds. It's all bells like ting 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 ting. It's horrible.
So that's also the difference though too, is when you have the physical pinball table, it's a whole other aspect than watching it on the screen.
Oh, of course. But Pinball Arcade itself, the game, those tables, they'll suck you right in. I find like the ones for the Pinball FX game are just so digitally made that they lack something. Since they were never a real table, they lack something. I don't know. I'm telling you, I think it has that slot machine effect that it lacks. You know that you went up around a loop around multiple times. It's like and then it's like extra points, extra ball, and then you hear all this stuff going on like crazy. In the Pinball FX, it's like no sounds, extra ball is lit. That's it. It's like
I think you're the wrong one.
No, I'm thinking of the right one. It's got sounds.
No, I think you're playing the wrong table. I've enjoyed the ones I played.
There's been a couple of good ones, but a majority of them are lacking quite a bit. I'm telling you, a lot of it, what is lacking is lights and sound. It's got the 3D animations down like crazy, but it's lacking lights and sound.
You definitely play a few of the ones I have.
I'll have to take a look, but for a lot of the tables, I've got a lot of their tables. I've got like at least like 30 of their tables.
No, it really kind of caught my eye briefly. I haven't got a chance to really dig into too much. LA Noire, that classic we had. They're just putting on a new game, the VR Case Files.
Yeah, now the thing is though, what am I really looking at for VR though? Really on that?
You got Skyrim, Fallout, and now LA Noire. I mean, those are pretty big ones that I could think of that would be interesting to look at.
I am so fucking sick of Skyrim. I'm sorry, but come on. Bethesda just needs to calm the hell down with that shit. That's just it's overplayed so badly. So badly. Come on. How ridiculous is it?
I don't know. I mean, playing it in virtual reality could be a whole nother experience.
I think a lot of that stuff is quick fat. I think would be better as virtual reality. I think really where virtual reality really needs to go into is just simulation and racing, which is simulation. So racing is just
Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
that one's on PSVR.
Yeah, let me tell you right now. I think the only thing left that you would need at that point, okay? I think the only thing left that you would need at that point would be something to give you the G-force-ish kind of motion. Everything to move you around like that. Because when you're in that VR, I think like being in that, you're going to actually be able to drive better being in VR on racing. I don't know how you feel about it. I think so.
Talking a huge expense at that point. Huge.
You think you'd be worse?
No, I'm saying expense. It would cost you so much money to be able to set up a hydraulic system to react.
Oh, that's not so bad. I think, what is it? I forget how much it is. You can get a setup for like 3,500.
Well, yeah, just cut a check, $3,500.
But I mean, it's not horrible. I've seen way worse. I mean, shit, some of these people's hobbies. I mean, people have bought $1,000 apps that just do nothing, and they just say that they spent $1,000 because they're stupid. Yeah.
Well, as was it P.T. Barnum said, "A fool and his money are soon parted."
Yeah. So, I don't know. What else have you? Anything else you can think of that you've come into play with? Like as far as VR goes.
I think one of the bigger ones for me is the Star Trek Bridge Commander. That one has a lot of potential, but from what I've seen, it's very short and it's original series based. So it's going to have more. It might have to have a sequel before it really comes along.
Well, yeah, and exactly. That's an exact example of what I'm talking about as far as something that needs to be played on VR. That's great for VR. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I think there's some stupid stuff that doesn't belong in VR. A real fun game I had a lot of fun with in VR was Audio Shield. It's great. I'll tell you right now, if I had VR, part of me wants to almost invest in the Oculus. I don't know how good it is, but part of me wants to invest in it for weight loss. It sounds stupid.
I mean, it would be better than nothing, I would suppose, but I wouldn't think it would have huge gains for that.
I think you'd. I don't. Let me tell you right now. When I was out at Kevlar Condom's house, his house was not hot. It was very well temperature controlled, and I was not temperature controlled. I was sweating like a sieve, moving around like a maniac. I'll tell you, it'll get you going. If I got to play that at least for an hour every day, I guarantee you I'll lose at least 5 pounds a week.
How do you know? Very much so. I mean, like I said, it's going to be better than nothing, of course. And if it does get you moving around as much as that, why not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the hell, a treadmill is going to cost you. A good treadmill is going to cost you $500,000, and an Oculus is $400. So I mean, right there, if you really want to justify it for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you can even get the Vive, the best one out there, for less than a treadmill, and I'll guarantee you get just as much work. See, personally, I find treadmills and stuff like that are just stupid to buy. It's right. It's like, why? No, I don't know. Treadmills, you can easily just go outside of your house and walk around. You don't really need a treadmill, but unless you're trying to practice
Watch
running.
TV.
Yeah, yeah. But the truth is, if you're sitting in there, there's a good chance like you're just gonna be like, okay, 10 minutes in, this is boring. I'm out. Let's go sit down upstairs.
One kind of thing though with the treadmill I've seen is people will have videos you can watch, and you stroll along with the same speed you're on the treadmill, and you're in a different environment. So you want to walk through cherry blossom gardens in Japan, and off you're walking on a treadmill.
That's kind of cool. I would really love to. You saw that? I know you had to see that thing that was where it's got like a dome and you run around in the dome.
Yeah, that was I think they're showing a Battlefield, I believe it was. Battlefield 4, I think they showed it with.
How great would that just be to straight up just have that as a world to walk around with? If you could just use that, just literally, it'd be the most expensive, but even as a social experiment. You remember PlayStation 3 had like a social life you could go online with? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was Home. PS Home, I think it was called.
Yes. Could you imagine?
And it had so much promise, but the problem with that is it took so long because the technology wasn't quite there for it. If they did it on this generation, it would have been a lot better because of hardware.
Yes,
but
and people would eat it all up.
You could go in there and you could get your the apartment going up and bowl and other crap like that. But of course, it flopped on its face.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I think today it would do better, and I think that how awesome would that be if you got to be in VR right? And like instead of the stupid hand, how about gloves, right? VR with gloves and you in that pod thing that you could walk around in. How awesome would that shit be?
And something I just came up. I had a look at before, and I just saw it on this list of upcoming. They've been pointed out to me before. A game called A Way Out. Have you seen anything on that?
No, never seen it.
So this one is PC, of course, and it's a co-op split screen. And you're two prisoners inside of, obviously a prison, and you have to figure out a way to escape. And you have to utilize each other using that split screen that you see. Even though if we're playing at a distance here, we still have a split screen, so you can see what I'm doing, I see what you're doing, and we have to work to get out.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. Okay, I remember that. Yeah, there's a lot. Man, there's so much. There's so much that. See, this is why I love talking about games. But I think if we keep going, we'll keep like it'll be like a run-on kind of episode of that. But yeah, I know exactly what game. When did that come out?
Which one?
The one you were just talking about.
It's not coming out until the first quarter of 2018.
When was it announced, though?
I think it was one of the E3 announcers.
That's right. Yes. Oh, and it was like if you were a screen jogger, right? It's like you have to screen jog to stay alive. Or am I thinking of a different? Did you see that? Did you ever see that game? There's a screen jogger game where you have to actually you have to screen jog to actually. Oh no, there's a different game where you actually have to screen jog in order to win. Yeah, like you have to. It's a shooter game, but you have to screen jog in order to find another person. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Um, I think we got to wrap up the show, though. I think the show has to be coming to a wrap up tonight. Do you have anything else you want to add for the show?
Yeah, if we're wrapping it up,
Well, I mean, I think right now, I don't want to take away from next week. I think we've covered quite a bit. We're basically almost an hour into the show. I think we've covered quite a bit. That basically we need more co-op games to come back. That's a big thing. And VR is starting to take off. Now, before we go though, where do you think VR is heading to?
Stagnant.
You think it's stagnant right now? I think so too. I think it's just too much money.
That's the other thing is I kept hearing all last year how there's so many people bringing in VR headsets. There's going to be so many more headsets. Its cost is going down. Man, we're not seeing shit.
That's because no one's finding a practical thing. You start doing the bridge commanders and stuff like that, right? You're going to see people really wanting it. So that's the thing. But yeah, like I said, I think we basically covered most of the stuff we wanted to in the week. I think the main point of this episode was just to get the show started back up and introduce you to everyone that doesn't know you, and let everyone know that the show is coming back. We got the new camera, and we're getting good. We're about to hit 500 subscribers. We're like 3 away from that. So I'm glad we got this going on. I want to thank everyone for coming out to the show. Make sure you hit that, like if you subscribe, all that fancy stuff. But I think that wraps it up for this week. We're going to be back. What do you think? Every Saturday?
Could do.
I think Saturday is probably the best day. We'll keep it going. If anything changes, we'll keep everyone updated. But thanks, everyone. And I guess that's it. So I'll see you all. Bye. And later on, and you all have a good night.
Later.
Bye-bye. All right, I'm still here.